comic gurus? It's your boy Razor Comics, and welcome to week 1 of NFL football and comic books and football, ceasefire Sunday, hashtag it up. Let's try that again. Welcome to week 1, football and comic books, ceasefire Sunday. Thank you for stopping by. Boy, are you excited? Because I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I got about 5 cups of coffee in me. Go Raiders, baby. Yeah, we took that W today. It's been a great day when the Raiders win and the Chiefs lose. Guys, are you excited? Today was an amazing day. Probably one of the first best opening weeks of the NFL that I've ever seen so far. And it's not even over yet. We're halfway through the day. We haven't even got to the afternoon games. We haven't even talked about the night game. Guys, we have scores for you today. I'm excited because we got a packed show. Recaps, scores. I got new comic book day sit covers, bro. And we got Chris, the comic vet, who's going to break down some reading for you guys, some picks when you go to your LCS comic book shop. Guys, we got football. We got comic books. We got a packed show, so we're going to get to it. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. Let's go then. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Chris, the comic vet. Sir, thank you for joining me today. How has your day been so far?
Exciting. It's wonderful. NFL football is back.
NFL football, it's like Christmas, bro.
Yeah, like it's wonderful, and there's so much to talk about because we've had Thursday and Friday football. We've had now the early Sunday games. It's so much to talk about, and it's going to be great. And there's a couple solid books that dropped this past new comic book day. Looking forward to getting into those 2 books as well.
Books coming out. Raiders win. A lot of crazy games going on in the NFL. A lot of drama, spitting, slapping, quarterback swapping. We're not talking about the comic book community, guys. We're talking about what's happening in day 1 of the NFL. We're trying to keep it drama-free. But hell, we're talking about the NFL. You can't get away from the drama. We're spitting on day 1. We got Travis Kelce being bitch slapped. Looks like Batman slapping Robin. Tons of controversy already. So, yeah, man, it's been a crazy first week, a crazy first day. So thank you for stopping by, man. I know we got your game later on today, so we got a quick show that we got to get knocked out and get to those guys, the Bills Mafia. I'm excited, man. I can't wait because I know you guys want that revenge game. So let's go.
Yeah, the Bills have to defend the revenge game tonight because the Baltimore Ravens will be coming for blood because I guess a lot of Ravens nations, not only they pissed off because the Bills knocked them out of the playoffs, fair and square. My quarterback also stole the MVP from their quarterback.
Like I said, guys.
And then he went out and married one of the hottest women in Hollywood. Like, boom.
Exactly. And welcome to the show. Everybody's welcome, guys. This is a drama-free environment. Unless you're talking about football, then we can't get away from it. Unfortunately, this is part of the game. But welcome to the show. All are welcome. All are welcome.
All are welcome. All are welcome.
I do see a couple people in the chat. We're going to shout you out here in a moment. I do want to make sure that we get the show rolling and underway. We get the show started, guys, by doing something around here that we started with late night after hours. We're going to continue it here with the football and comic books and football, ceasefire Sunday. Guys, it is time to do a little housekeeping.
I think you're sleeping.
Housekeeping, you want me to jerk you off?
First off, I would be remiss if I didn't shout out these individuals right here. The gurus, as I call them, the channel members, still standing strong. These individuals that you're seeing right here, Derek Neiman, Cheap Comic Collector, who in the chat today. Lisa Noble, I appreciate you. Diana Baez and Head Cutter, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the love, for sticking by me. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, madam, and others for being here today. Please, $2.99 a month to become a guru. It does help your boy out. We're going to be doing shows every week. Giveaways every once in a while. Yes, look for those. Giveaways are going to be coming, so please stay tuned. Also, follow this gentleman that I have next to me here, please. Chris, the comic vet. This guy does a show every Wednesday. Chris, can you tell me what that show that you guys do every Wednesday?
It's Show Us What You Got, the live new comic book day hangout. It goes live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's an open invitation for anyone that's participating in New Comic Book Day or picked up some pretty important books to their own PC. They want to come on and show off those books. Thank you, Ray.
Absolutely. Please give him a like, subscribe, check him out. It's a fun show on Wednesdays. I lurk in the back because I do not do New Comic Book Day, but I like to watch others pick up what they pick up and possibly pick something up later on. So I do appreciate that show and follow. Give them a like, subscribe. Also, an event that's happening in the comic community that happens every year, October 24th to the 26th, Comics Curing Cancer. This is the Instagram page. You can give it a follow. There's a website as well. But that's an event that happens for the comic community. It's for a good cause, Comic Curing Cancer. Look for that coming up 24th to the 26th. Thank you. Continue with the show. Madam, thank you for stopping by. Derek Neiman, Lisa Noble dropping the links. We appreciate you, Lisa. Thank you so much. And a little bit later on, I have a sick cover for you. Lisa's pick. You're only going to get it here on Ceasefire Sunday. Lisa has a pick for you guys to look out for a sick cover, bro. Coming out this comic book day, September 10th. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and this guy here, Chris the Comic Book. Chris, we got a couple things we got to get to.
Yep.
So let's get started, man. First topic I want to get is because we're a little bit late. It's day one. Games are underway. We got scores to get to. But before we get to scores and all that good stuff that we have lined up, let's get our predictions. Let's get all that taken care of so that way we know where we stand. So that way you can't trade on me. You can't switch up. I have a pretty good feeling who your prediction is going to be. But let's get to it anyway. Super Bowl predictions, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go over them. I have Chris, the comic vet, here with me. He's going to pick his team, and he's going to tell you about his Super Bowl predictions. Chris, take it away.
Well, it would be easy for me to say, oh, I'm taking the Bills because I'm a homer, and I own former season ticket holder, and I live 2 hours away from Buffalo, being on the Canadian side of the border. But let's be honest, the Buffalo Bills are a juggernaut. They made the Final Four numerous times in the last 6-7 years, only to be stopped by the Chiefs, who have gone on to either win or lose the Super Bowl. But the other part of the equation that I need to talk about, the NFC part of it, is the Detroit Lions. Now, it would be easy for me to turn around and pick someone else like the Green Bay Packers or the Philadelphia Eagles to repeat, or even Washington to kind of come out of nowhere the same way they did last year. But to me, Dan Campbell went and got himself an excellent OC, an excellent DC. The defense struggles last year with the Detroit Lions were all injuries. They are all back and healthy, ready to go. And Jared Goff, let's be honest, Ray, as you know, was a contender for the MVP of the league because he put up dynamic numbers. So it's with all of that I think we're actually going to have two teams go to the Super Bowl that haven't won one yet. And let's be honest, the Bills have been there 4 times in a row, way back in the late 80s and early 90s. But the Detroit Lions have never, ever been to the Super Bowl in the history of their franchise. I think this is the year that we have these two powerhouse offensive teams show up. And remember, offense now wins Super Bowls.
That was amazing, man. Like I was just going to come up here and say, such and such is going to go. But you killed it, man. Let's give you a round of applause because that was just,
I love football. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, that was a expert analysis breakdown there, man. Amazing. So Bills, Lions is who we got. I'm guessing you're going with Lions.
You know what? I'll take the over in this game. But no, I like the Bills to win. I like the Bills to win something like 31-29. I expect it to go back and forth, and it's just whichever quarterback kind of turns the ball over, they'll end up being the one that walks away with their head down. I think it's going to be all offense with some casual stops. But I think turnovers are going to make this year's Super Bowl if the Lions and the Bills get to make it all the way.
Nice. All right. Well, you know what? You're wrong, but that's okay. You can be wrong.
What say you, Brother Ray? What say you?
Once upon a time ago, and I'm a man of history. I have been cultured since my days of growing up in South Phoenix, and I am a man of history. One of my favorite subjects growing up in junior high and in high school was history. I always excelled at history. I just love how history repeats itself. To me, time is a circle, man. Everything is just flowing. We happen to repeat ourselves because that's just how it is. That's the way time works out. 12 years ago, there was a Super Bowl that happened, one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time. And one of the teams that had one of the best defenses at that time. It happened, and it played a team who's hosting the Super Bowl now this year. What I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. They faced off 12 years ago. Now, I'm a man who believes that history does repeat itself. And if you're looking for history to repeat itself this year, or this coming up year for the Super Bowl 60 and Santa Clara or whatever the hell the Niners play at, then look for none other than the Baltimore Ravens to make their run at the Super Bowl. And who are they going to face? Of course, you know it, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be sitting there waiting for them. I can't help myself get away from the Eagles, man. I watched them the other night. It solidified my belief that they will come out victorious out of the NFC. But not the Niners. I was going to go close to history repeating themselves and having Ravens and Niners, but I do believe Eagles are that good to make it. Jalen Hurts looks great. He can run. He can throw. Deep ball, don't worry about it. They can run all day. It's kind of like playing against Jordan. You don't know if he's going to shoot a three, if he's going to come in and dunk on you. It's a really great offense the way it's formulated. And once we get there, you're not going to like me here, Chris, unfortunately.
Oh.
But we got a lot of weeks ahead of us. I got Ravens repeating history and winning it all with a bunch of young players on defense.
Ray, I can respect this pick. Because I even though I was joking a little while ago about the Ravens and Josh Allen doing what he did last season, I respect the hell out of Derrick Henry. If there's a running back that kind of deserves to go to a Super Bowl now that Barkley got his, I think it's Derrick Henry. And if it's not the Bills represent the represent the AFC, I would have no problem with the Baltimore Ravens going in there and taking on the Eagles. But it's just there's something about the Eagles. We'll talk about the Eagles. And but yeah, I respect your Super Bowl winning pick. I respect it.
And we got Derek Neiman chiming in. He's giving me
a
pick here. His hot take is he's got Baltimore Ravens over the Packers. Nice hot take, man. I respect that.
Yep. The Packers can make a lot of noise this year, Ray. Let's be honest. They can make a lot of noise. And not just with the big trade they made with the Dallas Cowboys. They were set offensively. Like all preseason going into it, they looked solid in the preseason with the games that I watched. And Love didn't really hit the field all that much anyways. But yeah, I think Green Bay Green Bay's making the playoffs 100%. If Jordan Love is healthy, watch out.
Yeah. Now, let's do this to you, Chris. Let's play devil's advocate for a minute because Bills, right?
Yep.
We're going to take the Bills out of the equation. You cannot pick the Bills as your Super Bowl pick.
Okay.
Who would be your second, let's say, of God forbid, the Bills don't make it and win the Super Bowl. If you have to pick, unfortunately, I got to hold a gun to your head. Who would be your other pick other than the Bills to win the Super Bowl?
To win the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Or to win the Super Bowl? Then I'm going with the Detroit Lions.
You're gonna go with the Lions.
I just think there's something about that receiving core. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just think their speed kills, and I think the Detroit Lions receiving core. They have two excellent running backs, and hopefully, because Goff has been to the Super Bowl before, knows how to get there, even though they didn't win that year, the Rams. I just think the Detroit Lions are just solid on both sides of the ball and have a decent special teams. But man, the Detroit Lions receiving core, they are just so damn fast. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of those players that if you had an NFL franchise and you were allowed to pick a non-quarterback out of or a non-running back and trying to build your team around, Amon-Ra St. Brown on speed, him being relatively healthy most of his career and his age, I would take Amon-Ra St. Brown and build my offense around him. Some people would say JJ, and that's fine, but I just think they're really well coached, and they kind of go through a brick wall for Dan Campbell. Now, if the Bills don't make the Super Bowl, I 100% believe the Baltimore Ravens are going. But I just think the Detroit Lions. Just remember, last year they went deep into the playoffs, or they kind of got showed up in the playoffs, but they only had two starters on their defense from the beginning of the season, whereas everyone else was long-term injury. That says a lot that they actually that went that far. They what was their record? 15-1, like 15-2. Like they had an incredible record as well. Like they that's not lost on me. I just think injuries caught up to them, and
they kept that team together too for the last 3 years. The coaching staff, the management, so the consistency every year, where you can come in, plug and play in the offense and the defense that's already been built up for you, that's consistent. You don't have to worry about bringing in a new coach, a hot seat. You know who's going to be your coach. You know what to look for, what to expect, the expectations, the culture when you get there to Detroit. From where they started off with the Hard Knock series to where they're at now, I got to admit, man, they have definitely just keep on impressing me. Their season is going to be, I'm sorry.
And the things that you see, because I live relatively in Ontario, I live in between Detroit and Buffalo, so I get a lot of both their feeds on the news that I get to watch. A lot of those Detroit Lion players hold other players very accountable. Like they are not afraid to say someone didn't have a good game. That's not something you necessarily see that much in today's sports across the board with the Big Four. But the Lions players, they're just a little bit different. And I get that the Eagles went to the Super Bowl and everyone is keeping an eye on them or everything, but the Eagles lost a lot of key defensive players from that squad that they had last year. And the Ravens did not, the Bills did not, and the Lions did not. And now that the Lions are primarily healthy, I think they're going to be one of those teams like last year that just kind of dominate all the way through. Maybe have a couple of hiccups here and there. Just like it was them and the Lions in the NFC that were dominating all year long, but injuries caught up to them. And then all of a sudden it was Washington and Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game.
Right. Now, those are teams that our seasons are going to be taken off. We know that. They're going to be in there at the end. They're going to have a great season.
Yeah.
But there's some teams that are not going to have such a great season. Unfortunately, it's day one, week one. Are some teams' season already over? Is the party over before they even started? Did some teams not even get invited to the dance? We got spit slap, Chiefs season over. A lot of shenanigans happening. Day one, man, there was a lot of drama. The whole spit situation aside from that. Travis Kelce. What was funny about that? It's two grown men with helmets on, so no one's going to hurt each other, right? But Tier Tate, or whatever the gentleman's name is, the defensive tackle, his Instagram, man, is hilarious. He posted the Dave Chappelle skit where the Rick James slap.
Yeah. What the 5 fingers say to the face?
Yes. It was hilarious, man. It's one of the funniest things that I've seen. I love it how some of these young guys like to engage on social media now. And all the positive feedback. You thought that he would get a bunch of people just talking shit. Everybody loved it. They're like, I loved it. I'm glad that you slapped that guy. Good, God bless you. It was amazing, man.
The one thing on the other side of the coin, the Kansas City Chiefs know that they are now the villains of the NFL. Like you're good for so long that all of a sudden you stop being the heroes. You now start to become the villains. And I don't know. I want to just say, I don't want to offend Chiefs fans because there are a lot of a lot of members of the comic book community that I'm friends with that are Chiefs fans, but I think the entire
Well, I'll go and defend it
NFL,
for you.
the NFL fans, kind of like when the Bills went to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and lost. I think people have Chiefs fatigue, and the fact that all we hear about is Travis Kelce's personal life and Mahomes and his family around him and how they are always constantly making noise. I actually feel bad for Mahomes that way. Like they must be a distraction. But yes, the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't know if an Andy Reid led Kansas City Chiefs team with Patrick Mahomes healthy at the helm would go below 500 as a record. But this is going to be the most difficult year that they are ever going to face in the regular season because of where they finished last year. They now have to face the cream of the crop across the AFC. Not only that, their own division today proved that their own division has no respect for them whatsoever and that they are coming for them. Like the Denver Broncos, their defense is solid. They have an excellent running quarterback at the helm. The Raiders just showed today to the New England Patriots who's boss. And the Chargers, literally, Justin Herbert lived up to that billing finally and looked like a top-tier MVP type of quarterback that was just hitting everywhere he went. That's not to say Mahomes had a bad game, because you and I spoke backstage. Mahomes had well over 300 all-purpose yards, over 250 yards passing, touchdown, over 50 yards rushing as a quarterback, and a rushing touchdown. Fantasy-wise, that is great. That is great. He had no interceptions, but that defense, they were bickering and fighting with each other, and that's something that we've never really seen before with a Steve Spagnuolo defense. And it just goes to show, is the Chiefs season over? I don't know. But they are now facing an uphill battle I don't think they've faced in the Patrick Mahomes era, where everyone in their own division is a contender to make the playoffs, and he's now out his two number one wide receivers. Rashee Rice is gone for six games for being a part of that highway incident. Don't want to get into that. But now Xavier Worthy, who I laughed at when the Bills traded their first round pick with the Chiefs, and they took Worthy, who I believe at the time of his draft wasn't even 170 pounds. It just goes to show that you need to be a big man. You got to be a big man to play wideout in the NFL, because it wasn't even his own player that separated his shoulder. It was Travis Kelce there too.
Dislocated shoulder. They're saying that is questionable. He might be back next week. I don't know if he come back next week from a dislocated shoulder at 160 pounds, man. But hey,
but Ray, I've had shoulder surgeries on 3 times in my life due to an involuntary separation of the shoulder. That is one of the most painful things that you can experience just in everyday life, walking, laying down, and like it. I get that he is a super athlete. Let's be honest. I'm sure you can pinch an inch. I'm sure his body fat is incredibly low. But come on, man! Like
he's 160 dripping wet, bro. If you threw a towel on him and put
I get he's got blinding speed. I get that he is a burner, and like if he gets a little bit of daylight, like God help you trying to catch him. But I'm sorry, man. If he has to jump to try and catch a ball and he gets hit, he's going to feel this through his entire body. If he comes back, that's great, because I have him fantasy-wise in a couple different leagues.
Really? Okay.
I do. But my God, I'm already looking at the waiver wire, thinking I may have to go to Cedric Tillman with the Cleveland Browns, who had a touchdown today. Like there are going to be other options, but Rashee Rice, who in my opinion is their true number one, gone six weeks. And they face some powerhouse teams in those 6 weeks. And then when they come back, guess who they're facing?
Yeah.
So the Kansas City Chiefs are in some trouble, because if now Hollywood Brown or Juju Smith-Schuster are your number one receivers,
and you got an old Travis Kelce who barely averaged less than 4 yards last year, had like 800 and some yards total. He was averaging less than 4 yards a reception, like 3.8 yards a reception last year. He's done, man. He's done. He's
now
just collecting a paycheck at this point.
It's easy. It's easy to look at that. However, he had solid numbers in the playoffs. I went to the AFC Championship game in Kansas City. Kelsey was a force to be reckoned with. He's still an excellent blocking tight end, but I don't know if that speed is there. You're absolutely right. Now, are the hands there? I think the hands are there. Yeah. But without Rice and without Worthy, they don't have to necessarily put their number one nickel or safety on the receiving core anymore. They can put him on Kelsey and just like, okay, if you're going to beat us, you're only going to beat us with the run. And that means Mahomes himself or Pacheco or maybe Kareem Hunt if he gets to see the field. I don't think that you can now strategize against the Chiefs because without Rice, without Worthy, if Worthy is gone, they're beatable. And the Chargers just showed it because nobody was picking the Chargers to win by that much. I think if you were thinking about the Chargers winning, maybe 1, maybe 2 points, that's it. And they went out there and they just look so much better. They just look so much better.
You brought up another problem though. 1 point, 2 points. The Chiefs last year, 12 games, man. 12 games just came within that. They won 12 games within like a point or two.
Yep.
So we're talking about doing that over a season consistently coming out. You're asking Patrick Mahomes to win a game basically every 12 games. That's a lot, man. That's not going to happen this year.
Can he do it? Possibly. If there's a quarterback that can do it, it is him. Let's be honest. 5 Super Bowl appearances, 3 rings. If there's someone that can do it, it is him. But last year, he was running for his life a lot. The offensive line did break down at points. They did win on blocked field goals, missed field goals. Like they fluked their way to a lot of those wins.
Yes.
Let's be honest. The Raiders game comes to mind with that whole spotting of the ball. There was a whole lot of just fluky things that got the Chiefs to where they were. And then they on a missed ref's placement, they got past the Buffalo Bills and then they went up against the Eagles, and Cooper DeJean all of a sudden just spotlighted why he was taken in the first round in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Who, in my opinion, by the way, Cooper DeJean didn't necessarily have the best week 1 performance, even though the Eagles did win. Cooper DeJean, in my opinion, wasn't necessarily a big factor in that game. I kind of thought he was beat a couple times.
Which goes to tell you how good that team is.
But yeah, Derek here does make some good points. They are a finesse team. They proven speed kills, right? They had Tyreek Hill for a couple of years, won a Super Bowl with them. They went and got Xavier Worthy, speed killed. Xavier Worthy really helped the Chiefs beat the Bills in the AFC Championship game last year. But they don't have speed right now. Hollywood Brown, is he fast? Yep. Is he a speedster? I wouldn't say so. Juju Smith-Schuster, just good hands, good height. But there's a reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers gave up on him. Like teams that draft a receiver and draft them high, they give up on them. There's a reason. Let's be honest.
I'm going to give you a quick hot take and we're going to move on.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you that the Chiefs are definitely going to not make the playoffs this year. It's just going to be too hard for them. They're already down 0-1 on against a division rival. So you're talking about already, that's basically 2 games right there. That's a twofer right there. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. They're going to take a huge step back. They're not even going to make it out of the division. Another team that's not going to make it out of the playoffs this year and who's going to have a coach on the hot seat, who might be in the hot seat already, is Mike McDaniel out there with the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are putting up nothing but just hot garbage with all the in-house fighting that they have going on with their wide receiver, their star wide receiver, who demanded to be traded, that he was not coming back. Pretty much shitted on the team on his way out, but nope, you weren't going anywhere. So now he's got to come back, make good. And you could tell that there's no chemistry out there. They looked horrible. That's going to be a team who's definitely not going to make the playoffs and who's going to be on the hot seat really quickly here if they don't turn it around, because they looked absolutely horrible. Dropping 8 points was let's just say not good.
and Ray, that's like what you said. That's a hot take. Not to move away from what you were saying. I don't know about the Chiefs. But I like, as a Bills fan, I like where you're coming from. But I am totally on board with Mike McDaniel. I think before week 6, the Miami Dolphins may be looking for a new head coach, because they not only were they beat today, they were spanked and embarrassed. 8 points. They only put up 8 points. And thank God they got 8 points because of a lucky 2-point conversion. Like they were just annihilated. And that's the thing where as a Bills fan, I'm like, thank God, because they're going to make it really easy. And they lost to the Colts. I watched national pundits of the United States that said the Indianapolis Colts may go 0-17 on the season because they have Daniel Jones as their number one. Daniel Jones went out there and shit-kicked Miami Dolphins all by himself today. It was incredible. They had a generational running back in Jonathan Taylor. Taylor looked excellent, put up good fantasy numbers. But my God, 8 points against the Colts, who everyone said was going to be that may not even get one win. The Colts got 33 points, Ray. 33.
They look good.
33 points. By comparison, Ray's Raiders here, who beat New England in a weather-filled game, they won 20-13, combined 33 points. The Colts put 33 on the Dolphins.
It was lovely. I had a great day today, man. It was amazing, brother.
And Daniel Jones is their quarterback, who wasn't even the second stringer with the Giants last year. He was the third. And that's like, he beat Anthony Richardson, who was a very early first round pick, and who I get is now he is on the hot seat in the NFL. He's looking like he might be one of the biggest busts in the last 5 years.
Next to Jamarcus Russell?
No, Jamarcus Russell was more than 5 years ago, but yes. But my God, 33-8. If Miami doesn't come out next week, guns a-blazing, and put up a W, Mike McDaniel needs to contact a real estate agent, because it's coming. And it's going to be coming fast. Because you have Tua, who is a good quarterback. I'm not going to say he's a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. But you also have Tyreek Hill, who is potentially Hall of Fame candidate.
Yeah.
Like, he is that good.
Out.
And you actually have real good running backs behind him. A-Chain is right there. Like, you have a solid offense. 8 points against the Indianapolis Colts? Get out of here, man. Get out of here. The Toronto Argonauts or the Saskatchewan Roughriders could have beat those numbers, man. Like, get out of here with that.
Nice. I love the hot take, and I love the energy, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So what do you got for us next, Ray? What do you got for us next?
We've been talking a lot of football, man. So we got to mix in the show with football and comic books and football. So let's do some picks, some crisp picks. Talking local comic book shop. If you're going to go in there on Wednesday and you're looking and you're not sure what to read, like myself, Chris is going to go over a couple of books for you to look forward to. Maybe pick them up, maybe look them over. A segment that I like to call Chris Picks. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it underway. That was sweet, bro.
I like it. You got a wee bit of talent, sir. You got a wee bit of talent.
Thank you, brother. Take it away.
So for this past New Comic Book Day, one of the books that I really enjoyed was Everything Dead and Dying from the Mind of Tate Bromble. Now, Tate Bromble was the writer that took over on House of Slaughter, and he did a fantastic job after Jamestown IV did the first arc. Tate Bromble really delivered, in my opinion, with the House of Slaughter up to the end of its run. He is now at the helm for Everything Dead and Dying, which is a horror zombie kind of Western. Not to spoil it, but this story kind of takes place where you see a father telling a nighttime story to his daughter about recent events. His partner, his husband, passed away during the zombie apocalypse, but the father is trying to keep the homestead down by farming, even though the outside world has gone completely haywire. It is very graphic. The artwork is exceptional. It is really different and beautiful, And the massive curveball at the end is you see the father here is taking care of his daughter that is also turned. So it's one of those series where if you're not sure that you're going to like the whole idea of the zombie horror, the zombie genre mixed in with the American West and American farming, pick issue number 1 up just as a potential investment. Because if this gets optioned, I'm telling you, it's going to be a banger of a series or a movie because it is graphic, it is horrifying, and it is touching to see that a man is putting everything else secondary to maintain the relationship with his daughter, even though he's lost his daughter. And it really is a great, great book. I highly recommend Everything Dead and Dying by Tate Bromble and Jacob Phillips. Even if you're not interested in it for reading it, at least pick up one copy and just kind of stash it away and watch what happens.
Brother, when I looked at this, the covers, when you sent me the pics, I was like, you know what, let me take a look at these covers because the story sounds amazing. You broke down beautifully, by the way. Thank you for breaking it down for us. This cover, E, reminds me of the hard-boiled cover. It's a hard-boiled, it's from a magazine story and really sci-fi, futuristic kind of story. This reminds me of that cover where the gunshot cover is from the back, exploding out of the mouth, and you see it from the back. And when I seen that, I instantly that's the hard-boiled, that's like an homage to hard-boiled. So the covers are amazing. The artwork looks creepy. And thank you for sharing that with us, man, because, this looks like it's going to be a fun read to pick up and turn off the lights, light some candles, bring the Ouija board out. No, I'm just joking.
That's pretty good.
Luis Mendoza, thanks for stopping by, brother. We appreciate you, man. You also have a next book up, another pick that you forwarded me. Let me know about this, man. Tell me about Batman #1.
So I have been enjoying quietly Detective Comics for the most part. Batman has had a couple different writers over the last few years. James Tynion IV, Chip Zdarsky come to mind. And now Matt Fraction has taken over the helm. And DC has basically reset the issue or reset the volume and now given him a brand new issue #1. And there was a lot of hype that came around it with the whole blind bags and foil variants that you can get out of it. And I participated in it and I really enjoyed it. But let's just talk about the book. I don't want to go into great detail about this particular issue that much because it is something that I kind of feel most people should already be picking up or may have already read it. But the one thing I was kind of hoping with Matt Fraction was we're going to get a brand new villain or a new threat kind of thing. That didn't happen this time. That didn't happen. We had our usual Batman tropes. We had the Batcave. We had Batman exploring with a whole bunch of tech, doing his detective work that way. We had Robin show up and that kind of thing. But it was just kind of recycling the villains. Now, there was the framework for the next 3 or 4 or 5 issues to see where Matt Fraction is going to go. But the last time that we had a resetting of the volume under Scott Snyder, what we got out of it was one of the greatest Batman stories of the last 50 years, and that is The Court of Owls. I don't know if Matt Fraction is going to be capable of that, but there is the framework that's being laid. So I'm hopeful that we're going to get some powerhouse storytelling. And there's nothing I can say negative about the artwork, but because Jorge Jimenez is one of the greatest artists of our time today. He is exceptional. I'm glad that they're putting a superstar A type of artist with Batman the way that it's supposed to be. Batman's always had some of the best artists in the game doing the interior artwork. The book itself was beautiful. I just hope that Matt Fraction, now that issue 1 is finished, moves away from some of those tropes that we had and moves forward with his own storyline.
And I see that you recently did a blind bag poll. I
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to actually watch the video, man. Can you spoil it for us? Did you pull the gold?
So this is what I'll say. Ray will probably drop the link to the video in the chat. Go
Please.
find out for yourself.
Oh man.
I will say that I did pull doubles, and you will find out what I do with those doubles in that video as well. And There are the one artist that I hoped to get a normal foil variant of, I did, and that was Gabriel Delato, and
Nice.
his cover was just gorgeous, and so I'm happy to have that. I'll just quickly show it right here. This is the Gabriel Delato, and so I'm happy to have this in my PC. But yeah, everyone, if you're curious to see what the blind bags are and that kind of thing, thank you, Ray, for talking about that. I did drop a video and I did spotlight all the potential covers that you could pull out of those blind bags. And yeah, if you're curious about them, they are a whole lot of fun. There's going to be a Monsters blind bag coming up soon by Mark Spears. And those are going to be just normal cover price. So contact your LCS. Mark Spears is focusing his life on this from what I'm seeing online. So that's wonderful to see an artist is so devoted to the idea of blind bags. And also Marvel in December is going to be dropping their blind bags for Ultimates Endgame, where the maker is going to be taking on the Ultimate World. And Marvel's going to be doing it in typical Marvel fashion with just an overloading of variants out there. So make sure that you contact your LCS if you want to participate in those blind bags. And Lisa, thank you so much for dropping the link to that video. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks, Ray.
Bro, I missed out on these blind bags for the Batman. I was pissed. So I'm not about FOMO, but I gave in to the Mark Spears blind bags, and I bought 16 of them that I secured. How many blind bags did you secure, Chris?
I've already pre-ordered 10, but on New Comic Book Day, God knows, Ray, I may walk out with another 10. And I'll be honest, I don't want to say it's FOMO because I've seen how dedicated Mark Spears is to this bag. Like he's making sure that every comic that you get is going to be limited. Yes. And he doesn't want everyone to get like a book that has 1,000 copies or 2,500 copies. And Mark Spears, his dedication to this shows me that he's excited for people to get this. So that's why I want to participate in it, because I don't feel like he's in this for the money, because he's keeping those blind bags at the normal cover price, where these DC ones were $10 each bag. Yeah. Mark Spears, in my opinion, Mark Spears is doing it the right way. He's doing it through an independent. And let's be honest, I know Lisa Noble is a Mark Spears fan, but Mark Spears is someone right now who's one of the hottest names in the game. And if he's doing something like this on the independent scale, you should probably go out there and support him.
Yeah, bro.
But
I got the email from my LCS, right? You know the alerts that you get from your LCS. Yep. I got the alert. It says Mark Spears blind bag. You know, the FOC cutoff was like this last Sunday or whatever.
Yes.
Order as many as you want, unlimited. When I seen that, I was like, shut the front door. There's no way. I had to go back and retrace my steps, if you will, because once I seen that, I was like, there's no way. You're talking about unlimited? I could just walk in there and buy as many as I want. You're talking unlimited?
Shut the front door.
Yeah, and they're all short printed, according to Mark Spears himself. That's why he's just pumping out artwork nonstop to make sure that everyone gets what he feels is something special in its ratio count. And like, yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, he has put a lot of work. He's a very special guy right now who, like I said a little while ago, he's one of the hottest artists in the game today. His books have a lot of secondary value on the market if you choose to participate in that kind of thing. Personally, I just like his style. So the ones I pick up to go right to the PC, if I ever have a chance to meet the man, I'll give him to scribble his name on it and just kind of move on. But yeah, some of those variant covers that he has, they are just incredible pieces of work. Like he has done something really special.
Like my guy said here, he admires his style, man.
Just admiring your cool.
Guys, thank you for stopping by. I'm hanging out with Chris the Comic Vet. It is Ceasefire Sunday, guys. Football and comic books. Are you excited, man? I am. I can't wait for the second half of the day to get started. We got Bills Ravens coming up. Of course, we got six covers that we're going to get over right now, man. We got to get that started. Talk about Mark Spears and sick covers. Well, guys, guess what? I have my own sick cover picks of the week. Not to be outdone by Chris's picks of the week. I have my own picks of the week, and I have a person here that I reached out to who's in the chat to help me out. So let's go ahead and get this started, ladies and gentlemen. First off, it is the first time Razor Comics sick covers, bro, with Lisa Noble's pick of the day. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, that is the craziest
Sickest shit you'll ever see.
That's right. This is the sickest shit you're ever going to see. We're going to talk about it. Off of my sick cover pick before we get to Lisa. Lisa, we're going to get here in a minute. I'm going to get into it right away. This is going to be topic September 10th, Comic Book Day. Now, what are we looking at here? We're looking at a cover. This is number 5, Vampirella. This is the Lucio Carrillo variant, the Virgin variant. What's special about the Virgin variant? It is a metal Virgin variant, guys. Not only is this a Virgin variant, it's not a foil, right? It's a metal. You guys hear what I'm talking about? Imagine the thickness of this cover, right, when you're looking at it, okay? Now imagine, Chris, it being a metal. Explosion, right? Amazing cover, amazing artist. The story, I picked up number 1 that I won. Shout out to Madam Blaster, who dropped off my giveaway that I won on her live stream that was asked me by Jeffrey Carson. Thank you, Jeffrey. Have to watch the replay. I appreciate you, brother. Asked that giveaway to me. I was able to pick up the first issue. I liked it. It wasn't too bad. It starts off the day of the life of her being a single mom and her kicking ass. Really good story. Check it out. So this cover, I'm a Lucio Carrillo kind of guy. I love the artwork. I love the food and top of me. When we're looking at this, you got the crazy looking eyeball in the back, kind of peering over her shoulder. The magic in her hands. It's just beautiful, man. This is something that you can pick up, but it's metal, guys. Cover F. It's a metal. Look for the price. It's not $100 at my local comic book shop. So they are not cheap. You got to pick it up. Well, at my shop, you got to pick it up the day before, and it'll be ready for you. But this, now, Lisa Noble is somebody that I follow on Instagram. Somebody that you should follow as well. She has. I'm going to show that to you now. Lisa Noble, 6th cover, bro. New Comic Book Day for September 10th. Approved by Lily NYC 718. There's her code up at the top. Please give her a follow, guys, and a shout out. She's talking about Hallowed Darkness. This is cover D, guys. Cover D, number 14. This is Rebecca Pueblo. Boom! 20th anniversary variant 2-2. Do you hear that whistle blowing? It's the sound of the witchy train danes approaching the station from Mason Gilly, Ryan Hickman, Matt McNeil over the garden wall. Brandon Melvin and Calvin Fullerton tell a horrifying story about a phenomenon. We can only call Ollie Wobblies, plus more horrible humor from Robert Hack and spine-chilling stories by today's greatest creators. This is a horror cover. I love it. It's beautiful. The eyeball in the martini glass. The olive should be naughty. But instead, you got the eyeball. This is a thick cover. Now, check this one out. Lisa Noble pick for the week. September 10th, New Comic Book Day. When it comes to picks of the week, Lisa Noble is telling you to go look for this cover. You need to go look for this cover, guys. Cover C, The Hallowed Darkness, the pick of the week. Number 14, Cover C by Jonathan Waystack. Huh? I don't know, but what I do know, it's a Virgin variant, and it's a sick cover, bro. It's been approved by Lisa Noble as her pick of the week. Please give her a follow, Lily NYC 718. Look for this at your local comic book shop. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a sick covered, bro. Thank you. Lisa?
Yeah, I agree that the Perla was incredible, and Hello Darkness has had a bunch of superstar artists do variants. I've been picking up the Jenny Frison variants right from the beginning of the series all the way through, and they are horrific and terrific all at the same time. But yeah, those were solid picks across the board. That Vampirella, magnificent.
Beautiful.
But Perillo is one of the best in the game. His Spider-Man takes are some of the best Spider-Man covers that have been made in the last 10 years.
Yes, definitely. And Lisa Noble, man, is amazing when it comes to these covers. I was kind of stumped, right? I honestly was. I was going through the DC League's, New Comic Book Day website and kind of going through, seeing covers, right? And I got I found the Vaporella, and that's it. I was like, okay, well, let me reach out to a specialist who knows her covers. Number one in the game to me is Lisa, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Lisa. You know how much I love you. Thank you for helping me out at the very last minute. You saved my ass like you always do, like you're doing today. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Now, guys, we got to get to some scores. We got to cover some scores. It's football and comic books. We have a half day already underway. There's a lot of games that are currently underway, but there's some games that already took place. So let's get to some scores. Let me get you updated and get you on your way so you can enjoy your day. We've got a couple more segments coming up. Chris got the game he's got to get ready to. But, guys, we got to get you caught up. Let's go over some scores. Ceasefire Sunday scoreboard. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. We're going to start off with a couple of games. These are your morning games. Of course, my Raiders, guys, started off with a 20-13 victory over the Patriots. We were on the way on the road, and we solidified our victory, guys. It was a beautiful game, a beautiful day to be a Raider. Next up, we got the Cardinals over the Saints, 20-13. The Cardinals holding off the Saints. Very good game, very exciting game, but the Cardinals didn't pull it off. Saints hold off at the end. Very big game for the Cardinals. Out traveling in New Orleans, they pull it off. Our next game coming up. Dolphins, Colts. Here we go, Chris. 8 points, 33. Colts drop 33. Dolphins only 8. Holy shit. Look at those stats. Your game board top left, man. It was not a good day to be a Dolphins fan, bro. McDaniels is definitely on the hot seat. One of the first coaches I think that's going to be fired this season. Like if you're listening earlier, Chris Comicbit, hot take, be gone by week 6. Steelers and Jets, 34-32. This to me was the most entertaining game of the day. Back and forth. You have the quarterback swap. Justin Fields swapping places. The old Freaky Friday in real life in NFL. The old man, Aaron, still had it in him for 4 touchdowns. Holy! Still couldn't pull it off at the end. It was Steelers over the Jets, 34-32. Giants, Commanders. We used to call them the Redskins back in the day, but no more. They are the Commanders. And either ways, they still whipped that ass. 21-6. The Giants can't.
And let's be honest. And Ray, Mike McDaniel is on the hot seat, probably first to go. But the Giants head coach, Brian Daboll, his job is in serious jeopardy as well.
There you go. Second coach on the hot seat will be Daboll. Look for that. Another good hot take from our guy here, Chris Comedy, dropping some knowledge. Next game up, you got Panthers and Jaguars. I thought this was going to be a lot closer. I'll be honest with you. 3-20. It shows you the growth of Jacksonville and the Jaguars, where they're at now with Trey Lance. They still believe. I do believe. Good old Lost Boys. Remember that solo? Well, Trey Lance pulling the solo, pulling the victory, 20-3. They still believe. Great game out there in Jacksonville. Good showing, Trey Lance. We see you, buddy. Next game up, you got the Bengals and the Browns. Another close game. Everybody thought this was going to be a close game. It was. We had Browns being an underdog favorite, but the Bengals, they pulled it off by a point. Didn't cover that 5.5, but they covered when it comes to dubs. 17-16, Bengals your winner out in Cleveland. Sorry, dogs. We'll see you next week.
Cleveland's defense is for real, everyone. They are for real. Never mind the quarterback and everything else. But when it comes to the Browns defense, they held the Bengals to just 17. The Bengals were lucky to get out of that one alive.
Next game up, Bucks and Falcons. Another good game, a close game. Baker Mayfield was looking like the old Baker Mayfield, man. 23-20. Underrated Baker. Over the Falcons, I admit I had the Falcons on this one as one of my upsets. They did not pull through. I wasn't counting on them pulling through, but Baker Mayfield did look good here, man. 23-20. Another good close game. Came down to the very end. They held out. Bucks pull it off in the end, 23-20.
I don't know what Atlanta's thinking, but they have the most expensive backup quarterback in the history of the NFL on their team, and yeah, it just goes to show they may need a coaching change, even though they seem to have one there. But something's got to give. You just can't lean on Robinson to do all your offense.
Ladies and gentlemen, and those are your scores, updates of the week. There was a delay game earlier, so I didn't get the update on the delay. We were already getting the show started by that time, but those are your updates, your ceasefire scoreboard for this Sunday. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Chris, amazing time today, man. It's been a great show. We've been hanging out with the chat. Derek Neiman hanging out with us. We got Lisa Noble hanging out with us. Guys, we got a couple more segments to get to, and then we're going to get on our way. Of course, the big game that's coming up tonight, Bills and Ravens, ladies and gentlemen. The Bills and Ravens is coming up tonight. This is our guys' team. I tell you what, I put a little facts on here that I want to share with you guys here. First off, the Ravens are 12-5, bottom left, season openers under head coach John Harbaugh in 4 games in Buffalo, including the playoffs. Ravens have 1 win in 2019. Top left, Ravens hold the regular season head-to-head advantage over the Bills, guys, with a 7-4 record. Buffalo has the advantage of the postseason, though, where it counts. 2-0. This remains season division matchup. Buffalo Bills won 27-25 thriller that ended. You guys remember this heartbreak, man. We felt bad for this guy. Even I did. Mark Andrews ended up dropping the pass. The tied 2-point conversion. He choked at the very end. Baltimore did dominate Buffalo 35-10 in the regular season matchup last year. Buffalo in the regular season, the Ravens hold in games started by Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Those 2 quarterbacks are the last 2 NFL MVP winners and were the top 2 vote getters. So here we go, guys. Another classic showdown between Bills and Ravens. Of course, guys, I'm going to leave it up to you, the chat, to let us know what you think is going to happen. I already know what Chris's pick is, but I'm going to ask you, Chris, what do you think is your keys to victory for the Bills? What do the Bills have to do to pull it off for you guys tonight, bro?
They have to be flawless when it comes to turnovers, and they have to put points on the board every series that they have the ball. That's the only way you're going to be able to beat this powerhouse, healthy Ravens team. Their defense is immaculate. They are just stacked. And then you have probably the best running quarterback outside of Michael Vick of all time at the helm, with a freight train behind him in Derrick Henry. And not to take anything away from the receiving core, because Baltimore has excellent receivers as well. They had, I believe, 6 All-Pros, or 6 Pro Bowlers on their team, whereas the Bills only had the 1, Josh Allen. And I think it's either going to be a Ravens blowout, or the Bills are going to be able to kind of win by 1 or 2 points. Either way, if you're into putting action down, I personally would take the over on this one, just because this is going to be one of these games, unless the Bills get blown out kind of like they did last year, it's going to come down to who has the ball last and whose kicker, delivers, because that's what I think it's going to come down to. If weather gets into this game, I think it's going to be much like the Patriots and the Raiders earlier today, where a lot of different shenanigans may kind of happen, like a punter not delivering the ball into the receiving area they're supposed to deliver to. That kind of thing may show up, but turnovers will determine everything. And I do think that the Ravens are considering this a big revenge game for multiple reasons. And so if the Bills were to lose this game, I wouldn't be surprised. If the Bills win, I also wouldn't be surprised. The only thing that would surprise me, if somehow the Bills won this by more than a touchdown.
Yeah, no, I think 50 points was the over and under last I checked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to go over that 50. It's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
I mean, it's week 1 as it is, so defenses are not, it's still getting your wind under your legs underneath you. It's week 1, man. The offenses usually, you get a lot of high scoring games, especially when it comes out. We've seen that fourth quarter, a lot of close games. So, I look for a high scoring game as well. My keys to the victory for the Ravens, very simple, man. What the Ravens need to do is get pressure on Josh Allen without having to blitz. So they needed just to get pressure with their front 4, which they're pretty good at doing. And as long as their secondary, they can get pressure, have him move around, slip, do his thing. but without having to blitz, their secondary is going to be able to hold down that Bills explosive offense. They're not going to be able to just completely shut them down. I got the Ravens winning 31-27. It's going to be a high scoring game, but the key is going to be to get Josh Allen just running around. He's great at doing that. He's probably going to get around over 25 yards running the ball just in the fourth quarter alone. But if you can do it with just 4 players, play your secondary, play man, play zone, whatever you have to do, but only get 4 on him and make him uncomfortable. Then the Ravens have a chance. Turnover here, it's over. I think it's going to be a little bit too much for the Bills to overcome. That's going to be my key for victory. A little pressure on Josh without having to blitz with 4-man front. Minus 50.5 seems like an easy over. That seems like, if you were looking for some action, that might be something to look at. But absolutely, man. I know we're getting up close to it. We have fantasy to go over, Chris, but if you got to get going, I appreciate you stopping by. And if you got to go, man.
No, let's just keep rocking and rolling.
Okay, perfect. Guys, let's get to our fantasy football. We got some fantasy football. I got a team. Chris got a team. I haven't looked at my team yet. So I'm going to share it with you now. Cross my fingers. Hopefully, we're doing pretty good. But let's go to our fantasy football update and get you updated on some fantasy football facts and information. Here we go.
Hike!
Football league are you in? I'm sure you're in a couple of them.
I'm in 4.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
I'm in 4 leagues.
Huh? Yeah, that's a lot, man.
I'm in 4 leagues. Two of those.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say 2 of those 4 leagues are keeper leagues, and 2 other are just refresh every year. And the 2 keeper leagues, we actually use defensive players, not the defensive team. So it's a very hardcore type of league where you're putting forward safeties and corners and linemen, the whole 9 yards. And those are a lot of fun. So of the 4, I'm winning 2 of the 4, tied with the third one, and down by 20 points with the fourth one. I have Mahomes in 2 of my leagues and Josh Allen in the other 2. So we'll see how this all plays out, Ray. But let's take a good look at what you got going on here, because it's looking good right now for you.
Yes, I just refreshed, and the Raiders are up by 10 right now, man. I'm line projected to win by 4 points. I got J.C. McCarthy. I took a gamble on the kid right there for my quarterback.
Wow.
He's got a big game coming up. Josh Allen is who I'm playing up against. So he's projected 20 points tonight against the Ravens. So that's who I have to play up against tonight. I had Tyreek Hill, 13 points, so reasonable day. Marvin Harrison Jr., wide out with the Cardinals, 7.7. When I go to my running backs, man, I was lucky to have the 3rd pick, so I picked up Saquon Barkley, 18 points. I was hoping he would do a little bit more. He had some opportunities, but still a solid day.
And let's be honest about Saquon. Saquon's going to get you yards, but when it comes to touchdowns, Jalen Hurts likes to run that damn ball in himself. So Barkley is an excellent pick. I would not let him go by, especially in the 3rd spot. But you also have a generational running back to go with Barkley. And Jonathan Taylor is a superstar player on a bad team who's always going to get you minimum 10 fantasy points every week just on running alone. And he gets in there for those dirty yards. They send them in often, and 3-1, 3-2, especially red zone plays. So Jonathan Taylor, that's I'm presuming you probably took him in the 2nd or 3rd round. But again, you got Brock Bowers there, who had a great game today. He did a little bit better than what he was forecasted for via Yahoo here, not to take away from anything here. But I know Saquon was a little bit less than what his projection is. His projection was, but he still did better opposite the number 1 running back on the other team, who was the same amount of points less than his projection, who was tentative whether he was actually going to play or not. So it's gonna come down to Minnesota's defense shows up for you, and if JJ JJ shows up for JJ, then there's legitimate reason. You're gonna have a stressful Monday if Josh Allen happens to have a good game tonight. I see that in your future.
Yeah, no, you're right. When it comes, Jonathan Taylor is my sleeper, bro. I've legit had him for the last 3 years as either my quarterback or my running back 1 or 2. He's money consistently every year. He is money, 15 to 20 points consistently. So yeah, I picked him second round. I was gonna go with Ashton Genty. He was gone. So of course I went to the old backup, man, the old faithful there, Jonathan Taylor, man. He's my go-to. Brock Bowers is going to be another big one for me, but you're right. I can't wait. I think I got a good chance, but it's going to come to Monday night because Josh Allen's going to have a big game tonight, no doubt. Yeah. I'll be disappointed if Josh Allen doesn't have a big game. Like, there's no way he does not come out and slinging it and have a big game. He's all the hype all fucking year, man. Watching all the offseason shit, you know what I mean? The new stadium, goddamn Hard Knocks. I was so sold on it when I was watching Hard Knocks. Not sold on the coach. I'm not sold on the coach. I'll be honest, I'm not feeling the coach, the head coach, but the rest of the team, man, I'm all in, bro. Josh Allen has me all in, man.
I agree. Sean McDermott quietly is on the hot seat as well. The Bills are expected to win the AFC East and to win it easily. And I'm not saying that to be cocky or anything, but the 3 AFC teams that have played today, all of them lost. And so the Bills, even though they're up against a powerhouse and may lose, but the Bills are expected to easily win the AFC East this year. If they don't make the Super Bowl, I do think there's going to be change with Sean McDermott because you can only keep the same coach to get you to the Final Four for so long, especially if the Chiefs take a step back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, man, good luck to you tonight. I'm pulling for you, even though I picked the Ravens. I'm still pulling for you.
I hope your action is beneficial to you. I'll say that to you.
Exactly. Anything you want to recap? Anything you want to shout out before we get out of here?
I do want to talk just a quick moment about that Eagles-Cowboys game. I thought it was entertaining. As someone that despises the Dallas Cowboys, because of what they did to my team back when the Bills went to the Super Bowl. When I first saw the Dak spitting incident with their defensive player, who by the way is incredible. That was if you're going to lose a player on the defensive line, please don't let it be him. But I kind of thought because he just showed up and he basically spit on at Dak's seat, his captaincy. And that's pretty important in football. But that whole spit before, that kind of changes the narrative to me, where I think
depending on what angle you're looking at it, it looks really bad. Yeah.
So to me, once I found out that Dak was the first spitter, I kind of thought, well, after seeing what happened, I thought, okay, this young man's going to get 4 games and a whole lot of money out of his pocket. Since Dak is the one that made the first spit, I kind of think that it's just going to maybe be a fine. Now, I wanted to ask you, Ray, what do you think? I know that you're an AFC guy just like me, but when you look at these 2 storied franchises, the Cowboys and the Eagles, and the rivalry that's always between them, it might be the biggest rivalry in the NFC because as AFC guys, that's always changing. It was Brady and Manning. Now it's kind of Allen and Mahomes, and we'll see where it goes from there. And you can throw Lamar in there as well. But Dak being the first spitter kind of changes the narrative. The first spitter. If you watch Seinfeld, you know where I'm coming from. There was a second spitter. But I just want quickly before we wrap it up.
Yeah.
Do you think the young man from Philadelphia he's going to get fined?
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to get time served as well?
Yeah, no, he's not going to get suspended.
Yeah.
Saturday we'll find out because that's when NFL they hand out their punishment. When they do their review. So we'll find out Saturday. Here's what I think. At first, when we're watching live the game, it looked bad. You're like, what the hell is this guy doing? You should never, even if you get spit at, maybe throw a punch, but the spit.
You're better off open-handing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Than doing this, the spit and retaliation.
Yeah.
But the next day, when I actually seen it on the on NFL Network, when I was watching, getting caught up, and they showed the camera angle from the back, where Dak looks like he's spitting over his linemen towards Tate or whatever guy's name was.
Turner,
There you go. When I seen that, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. After we heard Dak's press conference, he's like, I would never spit at a man. I would never do that. That's disrespectful. I was taught differently. I was raised this way. So when I seen that, I was like, wait a minute. That's what triggered him to spit back. It wasn't like he just decided, fuck you, man, or, F you or whatever. You're the captain. I'm going to spit on your seat. It wasn't that. It was like, hey, he spit at me, F you, bro. I'm going to spit back. So when I seen that, I was like, okay, NFL is going to take a look at that now. And he was dejected. He's the whole game. It was, I don't know if it's the first play or not, but it was like right at the beginning of the game. So he was, that's one game already, right? They're going to find him. That's it. I don't think there's any more punishment, and I don't think they should punish him anymore.
And I kind of think Dak may catch a little bit too. I think he may end up catching a little bit as well. It may not be to the degree of the fine because Dak spit in his direction, in my opinion, but the Eagle spit on Dak, and there's that. Yeah, that's one magic loogie.
That's one magic
Stops.
Conspiracy. Yeah, it gets deep now.
Back to the right. Yeah.
Well,
but it's one thing that I felt that you and I collectively should have just kind of spoken about was now that perception is reality. Now that we know, because in real time the camera didn't show Dak spitting.
Right.
It only showed Dak catching one. But now that we know that the Eagle was just retaliatory. Yeah.
Well, in his defense, he did say that he was spitting over his linemen to, I guess, just to clear, But, I don't know, man. From what I seen, it looked like he was definitely spitting over his lineman to spit towards that guy, like as an FU. But, yeah, man, that was a great I wanted to get your opinion on that earlier because we talked about that. So thanks for bringing up the magic loogie. And Jeffrey Darcy, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you, and thank you for forwarding me the Vampirella. I did get that. Madam did stop by and delivered the giveaway that you won, and so graciously passed off to me. So thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Good looking out, my man. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I think that's it, Chris. Are we all wrapped up?
Yeah. I think Sunday night, Monday night, going to be two more great nights for football.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm going to get my hot wing ordered and get ready to relax and enjoy the rest of the day. Guys, do me a favor. Follow this gentleman. Give him a like, give him a comment, subscribe to his channel. Do me the same. I would appreciate it. We're going to make sure that we keep the shows interesting for you every week. Please stop by, hang out in the chat. All are welcome for this drama-free show. Ceasefire Sunday, guys. And until next time, check you later.